you, Clear.
Okay, we're live now, Chairman.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this special virtual meeting of the Brierfield and Reedley Area Committee.
Good afternoon,
can I ask
Mr.
everyone
Chairman.
Yeah, I can hear you, Councillor McCormick. Can I ask everyone to introduce themselves, please, and also for Brierfield and Reedley Area Committee councillors, can you also please let me know if you have any interest to declare on any particular item on the agenda? And also, we've had apologies from Councillor Kamal Shazad and also Councillor Mohammed Arshad. So I'll start off with Councillor Hanif then.
Yeah, Councillor Hanif, I've got no interest to declare, Chair.
Thank you. Councillor Iqbal?
Yes, Councillor Yasser Iqbal, Reedley Ward, no interest to declare, Chair.
Thank you very much. I think Councillor Moussaou Arshad is going to be joining us a bit. He's just leaving work, I've been told, so he'll be joining us in a few minutes. Councillor McCormack?
No interest, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Councillor McCormick. Can I ask officers just to introduce themselves as well, please, and obviously the police?
Yeah, Wayne Forrest. I'm the Localities and Policy Manager and Area Committee Coordinator.
Thank you very much.
I'm Lynn Rowland, the Committee Administrator.
Catherine Hughes, Principal Planning Officer.
Thank you very much, guys. I don't think there's anybody else. Is Hassan joining us? Do we know?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, brilliant. Obviously, first item on the agenda is public question time, which obviously we don't have any questions from the public. However, do any colleague councillors have anything they want to say on this? Any items to raise or anything? Councillor Hanif, Councillor Iqbal, Councillor McCormick?
No,
Yeah, Chair.
Yes, Councillor Hanif.
Yeah, just one. On Clither Road, the proposed car park for the North Light is absolutely a mess. And the question is, how long are they going to take before they get this sorted? I've got a lot of residents complaining because what Brierfield are doing is just bringing loads of trucks and dumping the land. And it's causing, to be honest, at least I've had about 15 to 20 calls saying from residents from Chinatown saying, what's happening here?
Yes, I actually saw them myself yesterday bring a few trucks and actually just dump it on the land. So I think if a letter can go from Brierfield Area Committee to Brierfield to actually give us an update of how soon will this car park be done or whatever's actually happening with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that okay? Yeah. Item 3 is minutes.
Mr. Chairman, could I come in there?
Yes, yes, Councillor McCormick.
It was Bowland View, Mr. Chairman. I'm very concerned because this is so tight that we should have some kind of information because the big items of equipment are going to be going up there, and I just wondered if we could have some extra. I mean, normally we leave it to the developer, but I think we need some more people to go up there, officers, and make sure that the people up there are not being absolutely disturbed to death because it is so tight, that entrance, Mr. Chairman. And I wondered, because it's only on the minutes, if you could ask the officers to do that for us. Thank you.
Yeah, that's fine. Obviously, the enforcement officer and if planning, whoever needs to go up there, just to keep an eye on things.
Thank you very much. That's just what I need, Mr. Chairman, just to keep an eye on it. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Sorry, Chair, could I just have some clarity on that? What is it that we're looking at and enforcing against?
Well, it wasn't enforcing. It was just keeping an eye out that the people there aren't being too badly disturbed by the width of the vehicles and them running on the gardens and being able to access their homes, because I'm afraid that it's big, usually earth-moving equipment initially, which takes a lot of room, and that road is so tight. And I just wanted, to make sure that our residents are not being too badly disturbed.
Well, it's only outline permission. They've not started, have they?
No, but this,
So
this might be my only
on.
opportunity, Mr. Chairman. This may be my only opportunity to bring this up at the time. So thank you.
So through you, Mr. Chairman, there's nothing for us to look at this moment in time. When we get the reserved matters application, there'll be further conditions on, and they will have to submit a construction method statement and things like that.
Good, thank you.
They will have to adhere to that. But this moment in time, there's nothing.
Would it be possible for me
to
see that at some point in time, or am I not allowed because I'm not the councillor there?
It's all on the public website, but there's nothing
submitted
yet.
We'll do. No problem.
So we haven't got anything for anybody to view or agree as yet.
Thank you. Just concerned. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that, Councillor McCormick. Item 3 minutes. Yeah. Councillor Hanif, are you happy to move?
Sorry, I put it on silent. I was told to put it on silent every time. Yeah. Happy to move them.
Have we got a seconder?
Yes, Chair, I'm second.
That's moved by Councillor Hanif and seconded by Councillor Iqbal to move the minutes and seconded. Progress report. Do colleagues have anything on the progress report?
No, Chair.
No.
Are we is someone happy to move that?
Move it, Chair.
I'll second it, Chair.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Was that Councillor Iqbal?
Musawa, Councillor Musawa Arshad.
Hello,
good afternoon, Councillor.
Good afternoon.
Hope you're well.
You too.
Item 5, community safety issues and police matters. Can I welcome PC Andrew and the new PCSO for our area, and obviously bring them in now.
Yeah, as most of you know, I'm Andrew Sarsha, police officer for Brierfield, and also we've got a new recruit. It's been in quite a few weeks now, but Amy Stevenson, new PCSO for Brierfield, so that's good news for us. Regarding crime and figures and where we're going, crime's been fairly good with COVID, obviously restricting a lot of people. Crime's been down more or less. The only thing that's gone up on the flip side is the antisocial behaviour.
Yeah.
And the reason why we've seen an increase in antisocial behaviour is due to people breaching COVID rules. It's been very easy to breach. You only need 2 or 3 young lads, youths together congregating, it'll generate a call. So we've seen an increase, residents calling us regarding very low level breaches. So that explains that increase, but overall antisocial behaviour has been down. We wouldn't normally get those calls for the actions that they were doing if you remove the COVID situation from the scenario. Regarding enforcement, the way we've tackled the COVID issue or the breaches is to engage, explain, encourage, and lastly, we enforce. We've issued a couple of tickets, but on the whole, most people have conformed to the restrictions, although some do need reminding. We've lost a lot of engagement, as you have yourselves, with the public to sort of link in and find out what the issues are, etc. Although we are signing up, and we're signed up to a new thing called Lancashire Talking. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's a fairly new initiative. It's one where residents can sign up using their name, home address, email address, and a contact number. Once signed up, they can receive information from ourselves, the police, regarding issues in the area. Just before coming onto this meeting, I've sent a quick message out regarding a bogus builder potentially has been reported in the Reedley area. So it's a very short message via email, just to alert residents in that area that this potentially could be an issue and keep your eyes out, etc. But with Lancashire Talking, we can target quite a small area of people. So rather than like Facebook, where it's just a blanket cover and people can respond from all areas, it's just specific to the area that we post it to, i.e. if it's Reedley, we could just post it to a half a mile circumference to that area. So it's only the only people that potentially affected are going to know about the message, and they can respond to us, back to the police, if they've got any queries or anything like that, safety advice, things like that. So over the next few months, we're going to try and get as many people signed up to it as we possibly can, and hopefully it'll work really well. Where it's been trialled in other areas, it's been quite well received. And people will be able to sign up to themselves directly, although we'll probably need to find a link for that at some point. Regarding other issues, we have linked in with the mosque recently to pass messages on regarding problems that we've been having in the area. Again, low-level COVID issues, ASB and social behaviour. I don't know if any of you have signed up to Facebook, but we've been putting quite a few messages on there, having seized vehicles for driving erratically, driving in an antisocial manner, issuing Section 59 warnings. I myself have seized a few vehicles, as other members have in the Nelson area. We are, as we all know, and as there is everywhere, probably across the country, but in particular Brierfield, there's reports of high-speed vehicles driving in inconsiderate manner, Halifax Road, Clitheroe Road, Colne Road, Higher Reedley Road,
yes,
King's Causeway as well. We get a few reports. So we've got a new sergeant on board at the minute, part of the team. He has a good traffic background. So normally we do have a traffic department and we leave it to them, but because we're aware it's a problem, the neighbourhood policing team are actively going to try and tackle that issue via a POP, problem-solving approach. We're going to do that linking in with special officers. We're going to try and get some special officers into the area, the volunteers, TAC Ops, which is the modern name for the traffic officers. We're linking in with the speed cameras. And lastly, we're looking to educate those people that are going to start to drive. We're going to try and catch them early, because ultimately it's an education. It's through education where we're going to try and solve this long-term issue and try and educate people to the dangers and the risks that their driving poses in the future. So that's going to be a lot of work for us. We're working quite hard on it, and it's going to take up quite a bit of time, and it's a long-term project. Obviously, we can't do the education element until the college and schools reopen again fully. Other matters, which some may be aware, we've had quite a few complaints on Chapel Street, cul-de-sac area, where it seems some youths are choosing to congregate there just to smoke, because they don't want to be seen by people, family members that know them. So they seem to be going to areas where they're not known, having a cigarette and then disappearing and just creating low-level noise and low-level ASB. And there are a few that are taking drugs, which we're trying to tackle that. Obviously, the Tunstall Square is always comes up. Groups sometimes congregate there. Majority not causing a major problem. Again, noise. Sometimes we're finding the little canisters, which I think they inhale. I'm not quite sure what they do with them, but they're discarded here and there. Again, that's happening across the country in a way. Amy here is looking to tackle that issue with a few signs and bits and pieces. And more or less, that's a quick update for you. I hope I didn't ramble on too much.
No. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Very interesting.
Thank you, Andrew. Do colleagues have anything they want to ask the officers? Councillor Hanif? No. Councillor Sawa? Councillor Yasser?
No, that's fine, Chairman.
Thank you.
Can I just ask, obviously, with what you're saying, Andrew, about these speeding cars? I know we've got issues on the main roads, but what's happening now is Stanley Street, Chapel Street are all becoming, racetracks, and it's happening at all hours, and it's really, really scary now because Arthur Street and all these, someone's going to actually get hit or killed in these side streets. Because I know you guys are on the main roads, but now what they're doing is they're going into these streets. And regarding Tunstall Square, what's happening there is they're gathering in cars wherever, and what they're doing, obviously, I don't know what they're doing, but once they've left, if you have a look, it's just full of litter, takeaway, rubbish, and all that sort of stuff. And antisocial behaviour, I simply, because I've not had your number or anything like that to contact anybody, I've been going through Tim, antisocial behaviour is you're saying is high. I agree, because there's been issues on Burnley Road, Castle Street, these sort of areas.
Yeah, I'm sure you've got my contact number. I remember giving it to yourself, unless you've missed it or something. But I can email it to you if you need to speak to me.
Please. Yeah.
What I was going to say, regarding Tunstall Square, obviously I interact with quite a lot of users that are there, and on the whole, when I'm there, obviously I don't generally witness anything, and they tend to be reasonably respectful towards me. I don't see committing any crimes, or throwing litter. But maybe we could consider, I don't know, if there are any bins there, if there's a lack of bins, could it be a consideration to put some up?
We can have a look at that, but I don't think the bins are going to have. They're just where they're actually parked. They're just opening the windows and just throwing everything out on. And they're doing the same. Sorry, they're doing the same on Hill Street car park as well. Councillor, I don't know if councillors are aware. Hill Street car park, that's becoming the same.
Yeah.
Councillor Hanif?
Yeah, I think the issue is happening all over Brierfield, Chair. It's obviously all those streets. I've spoken to Andrew on this, and he did say obviously he will have a look at it. So, and those canisters, those small canisters, are actually becoming a big issue now because they're all over in all the streets, and they inhale those fumes, don't they? And that's becoming a big issue, and I think that's something we need to start monitoring, because on every street corner there's 5 or 6 literally every single day, and you find them all scattered across.
I'm obviously a bit behind on what's in the canisters, Councillor Hanif.
I'm not sure myself, Councillor McCormick, but I think Councillor Hanif might know.
What is it, Councillor Hanif?
Well, what they are is the young people inhale some sort of drugs, yeah. So it's a new,
yeah.
It's literally is a finger size.
Makes you high, something.
Yeah. I think that's
And I didn't know until the kids told me what they were, because I asked some kids, I said, "What are these?" And they told me what they were. So they scatter literally every street nowadays.
Oh dear.
That's fine.
At the moment, I could just do one of those.
Obviously, I can bring Andrew in, but can I first of all obviously thank Andrew and obviously the PCSO for all the hard work you are doing, and obviously we're here to support you guys, and long may it continue.
Yeah.
Thank you very much indeed.
Yeah, thank you very much. Can I just mention, I think there's quite a lot of roadworks in Brierfield in the centre, which was quite painful for everybody in a way. And I think that's why a lot of cars have been cutting through the back streets and cutting out the traffic lights, because obviously the roads have been narrowed and it's creates a lot of congestion. Now the temporary traffic lights have gone and the roadworks, maybe it'll calm down on those side streets a little bit more, hopefully. You'll always get a few, won't you, that will try and cut through.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know where I am if you need me.
Brilliant. Yeah. Cheers, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is planning applications. We've got one planning application, number 20/0200/H80, erection of a part 2-storey extension, part single-storey extension to rear front porch with balcony above an extension to driveway. It's a resubmission at 11 Clements Drive, Reedley, guys. Can I bring in Catherine Hughes, please? Obviously, she can just go through it, and then obviously councillors can obviously talk, and if they need to ask any questions of Catherine, can do.
Thank you, Chair. As members may recall, we approved a very similar scheme to this in January this year. They've resubmitted. It's come before members because we've got more than 3 objections. A lot of the objections relate to what they objected to previously, which is mainly the balcony, the extension of the driveway, and overdevelopment of the scheme, which we addressed last time. On this one, there is an additional rear extension. It is pretty small scale, I have to say, and there's no impacts or additional impacts from that. So it's to members to draw their conclusion and bearing in mind what we've already approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for that, Catherine. Colleagues, councillors?
Yeah.
Mr Chairman, it's Pauline. It's just that Reedley Alice Parish Council looked at this and were not happy with it and just wanted me to mention that they really aren't happy with it, and that is their view. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Hanif?
Yeah, Chair, can I go for the recommendation approval, please?
Councillor Iqbal?
Thank you, sir. Chair. I think I'd go with the recommendation of approval. I know Councillor McCormick says that Reedley Hallis Council are unhappy with it. I think planning now as we do, we can't just refuse it just because.
Well, they said it's overdevelopment of the site, but whatever. Yeah.
When I looked at it was the same planning application as the previous one. Obviously, I've been there to see it. I've got no issue with this application, Chair.
So we've got Councillor Hanif to move it, and we've got Councillor Iqbal to second it. Can I ask each councillor, obviously, are they happy to approve this? I've got to individually ask each councillor. So, Councillor Hanif, are you for the application?
Yes.
Yes. Councillor Iqbal is for. Are you for it, Councillor? Yes.
Yeah.
Councillor Arshad?
Yes, for.
For. I'm for the application, so that's unanimous, all for the application. That's fine, guys. Thank you for that. The next item is enforcement. We've got 2 still on. Land to the south of Robinson Lane is the first one. Obviously, the enforcement notice requiring the owner using the land for the to cease using the land for the storage of motor vehicles and to remove all vehicles from use to restrict to the only parking 6 vehicles per house which are owned, registered and used for domestic purposes by a person's residence at the property or visitors to the property. The appeal was dismissed because the owners appealed, and an enforcement notice to be upheld. And the second one, the enforcement notice served, require the owner to remove the caravans used for residential occupation and cease using the land for any residential purpose. So that are we happy with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr Chairman. Thank
you. Item 8 is the capital programme. Can I just make colleagues aware we've got a bit of underspend of the premise improvement grant, £7, and the Massey Street sign is in line with the PSPO scheme complete using available materials. Request £300 deallocate and return to the capital programme. Are we happy with that?
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
We've also, sorry guys, we've also got, I know it's on item number 11 as well, regarding premises improvement grants. We've got a bid, well not a bid, but just £3,000 request, which we do every year. Shall I bring this in with item 11 at the same time? Then I can go through it with you.
Yeah, why not just do item 11 now, Chair?
Okay, fine, that's fine. Just for colleagues, item 11 is Brierfield Town Centre premises improvement grants. I know, colleagues, every year we put a little bit away separately for premise improvement grants, and last year we did help two businesses with this. And normally what happens is the bid comes to the area committee, and we discuss it and then decide. However, there is a suggestion that we form a subcommittee where the application comes to the subcommittee and then they decide and they get a little bit more information. I don't know what colleagues feel, but my own personal opinion is I think we just keep it as it comes to the area committee. And obviously, I know all councillors agree that we're more than happy to support any improvement in Brierfield for businesses.
Yeah, Chair, that's a good way.
Okay.
Councillor Iqbal?
Yeah, agree, Chair.
Councillor Arshad?
In agreement with you, Chair. Sounds great.
Thank you very much. So, are we happy to move this £3,000 as well?
Yes.
Yes, Chair.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's everyone's in favour of that. Item 9 is the reopening of Pendle town centres. Obviously, with the way COVID has been, we have been given £7,310 to spend in the area. But is Hassan with us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah. Can I bring you in, Hassan, first, please, to explain everything to colleagues?
Okay. Yes. So the it's come from central government. I think Pendle we received just over £80,000. 20,000 has been kept by Pendle Council, which will be invested in promoting the entire borough, which includes the various centres. And then the remainder was distributed to the various area committees. So as you mentioned, Brierfield has received just over £7,000. So the money is to be spent in promoting the reopening of the town centre. What it cannot be used for is to give businesses capital grants or grants of any sort. So it can be used to promote that the Brierfield town centre is open. What we can do is if anyone's got any thoughts on what it is or where it should potentially be spent, and then based on that, we could possibly put together an action plan and move that forward in that sense.
Brilliant. Thanks for that. Can I bring colleagues in first, and then obviously we can see what colleagues think.
Chairman, could I also mention as well that PC Salche would like to speak at some point?
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Councillors, any views on this?
Councillor Iqbal here. I think we obviously had a meet-up in the centre of Brierfield a couple of weeks ago with one member of the Brierfield Town Council. And I think the aim was to go to these businesses and see what they wanted. And obviously, having spoken to a few businesses, there aren't many businesses, let's be honest, in Brierfield Centre. And the fact that the grant can only be used for the signage and not for capital for the actual business itself, I think will be a bit of an issue for businesses, because what they actually needed was things like hand sanitizers or things that which could actually help their business. And the signage was probably, and in fact on that day they changed the 2 metre rule to a 1 metre rule. So we may give money or spend things on the signage or regulations, which actually may change in a couple of weeks. So I think that I'm not sure if that's a government rule we can't spend on capital for capital purposes, but I think it's something that we need to reconsider, because £7,000 is some large amount of money certainly for Brierfield businesses, and I think we can use that money better if we actually use that money for needs of the Brierfield businesses rather than spending it on the things that we are currently limited to. So I'm not sure if that's something we can actually look into to see if that can be changed, or potentially will be changing in a couple of weeks, because I think it's counterproductive to spend that money now and then in a couple of weeks' time that them rules change and then that money's gone to waste, quite literally.
Yeah. So in
so I'll bring Hassan in. Yeah.
So in terms of the guidelines, they have been issued by central government, so it's not something that we've decided on a local level. And within the national guidelines, it states that the money cannot be used to directly provide support to businesses. So that includes grants plus PPE equipment. Touching on what you mentioned about hand sanitizers, what the guideline states that if you're looking at installing sanitizing stations within the high street, that is something you can look at. And it's also promoting that the town centre's open. So one option could be having a promotional video being made, highlighting the businesses that are in Brierfield and saying that we've gone to these efforts to make sure that it's safe, come and support your local businesses. So the money can be used to promote. Could you
use it for banners and things like that, you know, to sort of make people aware that something's going on in Brierfield?
Yeah, so it can be used on banners and promotional material. Use it whether you're looking at taking out an advert in a local paper or online advertisement. It's just to promote that the high street is open for business. What it cannot be used for is individual businesses. So, I mean, in terms of the comments you've made, Councillor Gritbell, that has been raised on a Lancashire level, that it is quite restrictive, but these are the guidelines that we're working with.
Thank you for that, Hassan. Councillor Musawa, Councillor Hanif?
Go on. Chair, I was just going to say, I mean, the hand sanitizer station sounds like a good idea, depending on how many businesses we've got on the high street. I mean, do we know how many active businesses we've got at the moment that would benefit from such a scheme?
The issue is that the sanitizers would be outside, you know, in the centre. It wouldn't actually be outside the businesses. So how many businesses actually benefit from this is what my question is. I mean, how many businesses have we got here that could make use of this?
I think
probably about 50. Go on, sorry, Councillor.
20. No, I was just going to say, Councillor Arshad, it's about 15 to 20. But can you imagine? You put it up on a lamppost, within an hour it's gone. Okay, so we've got to be realistic on these things. What I was going to suggest, Chair, is that
Councillor Arshad finished, then go on.
I was just saying, the station itself, as you were saying, Chair, would be inside the business, wouldn't it? So
no.
Right.
On the lamppost also, somewhere on the outside.
Lamppost or something. Can I just say that I've seen a few signs in Brierfield, which, you know, with the 2 metre distance thing. However, half of them have been broken off.
Right. So we could replace them, I guess. You could use some of the funds to and things like that.
Yeah, more to do with, I think, I don't know what colleagues feel now. It's because obviously it's not. It said 2 metre distance on these signs, but now it's not 2 metres. But I think a better sign would be something like keep social distancing, rather than I don't know what Hassan feels, rather than the 1 metre or 2
meters. That's better, Mr. Chairman. That sounds better.
Yeah, because obviously everything's changing. Councillor Neef, sorry.
No, fine. I'm just thinking. Obviously, we don't need to make a decision today, do we?
No.
So I'm just thinking that obviously, because this is, to me, is really hard. When we spoke to businesses, they want something for themselves, but obviously as a town centre, it's going to be. So I think because we got the money, if we can push this to the next meeting and have a chat ourselves and talk to Hassan as well, give us some ideas, suggestions. He can come back to us saying yes or no or things like this. So at least for the next meeting, we got some decent ideas which have been discussed with businesses and among ourselves.
Can I recommend something? Can I, if colleagues agree, that obviously with Hassan and Councillor Hanif, if we can organise a meeting in the next 2 weeks in the town centre with preferably all colleagues who can attend, and we can go around with Hassan in the centre and say where we can do, because I think with what you're saying, I totally agree, Councillor, and what Councillor Iqbal is saying as well. If we go into the businesses, they're going to ask for stuff. And like obviously the law says we can't. The first thing they're asking for is going to be the screens or the PPE equipment or masks, gloves, anything, which we can't do. I don't know what colleagues.
And that's the Chair. That's the difficulty with this grant. It's actually going to cause probably more problems.
Yes.
Actually, solution. And when we've actually looked at this, so all of us in our own ways, to be honest, I can see more hurdles. I'd rather not use a lot of this money because it's going to cause lot more problems. They're going to come and hit us on the face. That's why I suggest that and I agree with you. In 2 weeks' time, something like this, let's meet up with Hassan. Let's have those discussions.
Yeah.
Let's do the walk around. Yeah.
Yeah.
And as long as you're buying a cuppa, I don't mind.
No problem. Cuppa with a biscuit, and then sorry, I know I'm not supposed to, but then promise to go on a run with me as well.
Oh no.
Right. Sorry, Lynn. Lynn, did you get that? Sorry.
Then you'll need some oxygen. Yeah.
You definitely will.
Yes, I did get that. I don't know if Hassan has any comment to make.
I know you have some concerns about spending the money. We've got until March 2021 to allocate and spend. So essentially, at this moment in time, I know Pendle Council we're doing an overarching promotion of centres. So there isn't a rush in that sense, unless you feel that there's one particular issue that's addressing straight away. You've got time to go away, think of an action plan, put together a plan that will benefit the centre and that the actual businesses and also the residents who may visit the centre. Then we can move it forwards.
Yeah, I don't know what college. I think my biggest concern at the moment in the centre is we haven't got many signs or anything about social distancing or anything. I know they were on, but they've all been broken off or something. So I think that could be a start.
Mm.
Exactly, Chairman. I mean, that's something that we could probably do with right now, couldn't we? So we could implement that right now. So it
doesn't have to be the 2 metre or 1 metre. Just keep social distancing and whatever.
Yeah.
Chair, I think very little that actually the businesses may actually want. Can I ask Hassan, what are other council or area committees using this money for? Because we were struggling to think of any ideas which actually businesses actually wanted, apart from the hand sanitizers and a few other things. Have there been any other suggestions?
Yeah, so obviously it's very early days for all the area committees, but the preference seems to be to promote the centre in its entirety and to say that it's open for all businesses. So rather than focusing on each individual business, just to say Brierfield Town Centre is open, we've ensured Brierfield Centre's open and COVID safe. We've installed signs. We possibly will look at, for example, hand sanitizer stations. So it's just to promote and kind of put the town centre users at ease that when they do visit the town centre, the businesses are aware of the various rules and regulations to ensure their safety and also the business safety. And the other key message seems to be, obviously, with a lot of the retailers being shut, there's been a demand in local residents using the local businesses. So it's kind of promoting the shop local message as well. So the money can be used to the preference. Again, it's very early days. An official action plan hasn't been put together by any of the area committees yet, but it is around promoting the centre as being open. So you could have videos produced, or you can take out advertisements. So there is scope to spend the money. It's just putting together the right action plan.
That's brilliant, Hassan. So what we can do is obviously we can meet up in a couple of weeks and then obviously have a walk around, and obviously we can start getting the signs and everything ready or whatever. Is that okay?
That's fine, Chair. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that okay, Councillor Iqbal?
Yeah, that's fine. Chair, I'm just conscious that the PC Shasta wants to speak. I'm not doing broken.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. Sorry, PC Andrew. Can you?
It's all right, don't worry. I just don't want to seem rude, but I disappear without saying anything. Is there anything else that we need to be aware of in the meeting, or are we okay to leave?
No, thank you very much. I think all colleagues have expressed obviously what they had and everything like that. But thank you again. So obviously, if we need to contact you, we know how to contact you now.
Yeah, I'll try and send you my number again. And we'll speak soon. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Right. Can I obviously thank Hassan for coming as well today, please? And obviously we'll meet up with him in a couple of weeks.
Thank you, Hassan.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers.
Item 10, items to Clitheroe Road Motorway Bridge, illegal activity. Councillor Hanif.
Yeah, this is getting worse day by day, Chair. On a lot of the residents obviously complaining that in the evening, there's a lot of, in particular now midnight, after midnight, there's a lot of cars parked there, doing a lot of obviously things. And the other one is speeding, and speeding is on the increase, in particular on the bridge and going up. So one of the suggestions is that once, obviously, you go past the bridge up to fence, is a 60 miles an hour sign there, and one of the suggestions is to change the sign to 30 miles an hour. Physically,
that's a better idea.
Physically, won't make a much difference, but psychologically, over the time, it might make a difference. So I think we need to write to LCC, because LCC have the control. So if we can ask the area committee to write to LCC, so look, can we possibly look at the signage from 60 to 30? That might over the months coming might make a difference.
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of that on the Facebook about illegal activity and everything going on down there. So,
well, it's dark and nefarious, isn't it, Mr. Chairman? Down there, they can, and it's actually in Reedley that little bit. They can hide away. It's so easy to hide away down there.
Are colleagues happy with that?
Yes, Chair.
So we write to LCC and then obviously take it from there.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Can I, Mr. Chairman? I wonder if I could just come in there.
Yeah.
Could I take this back to Reedley Hallows Parish Council and ask if they have any ideas as well? Because our chairman actually lives there, Vicky Bates. She lives right there, so I just wonder if that would be acceptable. Come back to the next meeting with something. Thank you.
That's fine. Obviously, item 11, Brierfield Town Centre premium grants. We've obviously gone through that. Item 12, obviously, is for more for information. Environmental blight. The Housing, Health and Engineering Service Manager reports that there are no existing environmental blight sites and no new sites have been put forward. I don't know if colleagues have any sites they want to put forward or anything. No,
not at the moment.
No. Councillor Iqbal.
No,
Councillor Arshad.
No, Chair, that seems fine at the moment, yeah.
Thank you very much, guys. That concludes the virtual meeting. Can I thank everybody for coming and stay safe, please.
Thank you.
I shall, see you guys soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Catherine, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.